The AEM 21-678C air intake system is guaranteed to add horsepower and torque on the 2008 through 2014 Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution with a 2.0-liter engine. It features a custom aluminum air intake tube with a gunmetal gray finish and a custom heat shield that is designed to help isolate the intake air from engine heat. It comes with an oversized dry flow AEM performance air filter that is washable and reusable. Visit AEMintakes.com for a complete list of models this air intake fits. With the 21-678C intake installed on a 2008 to 2014 Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution with a 2.0-liter engine, AEM dyno testing showed an estimated power gain of 17 horsepower at 4,100 RPM. Actual results will vary depending on the condition of the vehicle, mileage, weather, and other variables. This AEM air intake system will add style, sound, and performance to your car. This intake comes with all components needed for an easy installation, along with detailed installation instructions. The tools needed are shown. Start by turning off the ignition and disconnecting the negative battery cable. Disconnect the mass airflow sensor harness connector from the MAF sensor. Remove the two tree mount zip ties from the airbox housing tabs. Remove the bolt securing the OE airbox to the vehicle. Loosen the hose clamp securing the rubber inlet tube to the stock air assembly. Remove the air bypass valve hose from the OE inlet by pulling it towards the passenger side of the vehicle. Remove the two plastic rivets securing the air inlet duct. Disconnect the OE inlet tube from the airbox. Then, remove the airbox from the engine bay by pulling straight up. Disconnect the air bypass valve hose from the air bypass valve. Use pliers to compress the hose clamp securing the vacuum line to the air bypass valve and slide it away from the air bypass valve. Disconnect the vacuum line from the air bypass valve. Disconnect the PCV hose from the OEM inlet tube. Disconnect the two vacuum lines that connect the wastegate solenoid. Loosen the hose clamp securing the inlet tube to the turbo inlet and remove the inlet tube. Remove the vacuum line from the vehicle that was connected to the air bypass valve. Remove the air bypass valve from the inlet hose by loosening the hose clamp on the inlet tube. Remove the hose clamp from the inlet tube. Remove the MAF sensor from the airbox housing using the supplied tamper-proof Torx tool. Unclip the two clips holding the airbox housing together. Separate the airbox housing. Then remove the inlet duct from the airbox by squeezing the top two tabs and pushing out. Remove the two grommets on the bottom of the airbox housing and save for use in a later step. Install the supplied rubber mount onto the airbox and secure it with a washer and lock nut. The inlet duct should snap into place in the oval opening of the airbox. Install the edge trim around the inlet hole of the rear side of the airbox. Install the two OE rubber grommets removed earlier onto the bottom of the AEM airbox. Place the AEM airbox in the engine bay, aligning the two rubber grommets of the airbox with the two dowels protruding from the mounting location. Align the airbox tab with the mount the OE airbox is mounted to. Secure the airbox to the mounting tab with the bolt removed earlier. Do not over-torque the bolt. Secure the inlet duct using the plastic rivets removed earlier. Insert the two white connectors into the rubber inlet hose. Using glass cleaner to lubricate the parts will help with installation. Install the air bypass valve into the rubber inlet hose and secure with the OE hose clamp. Insert the 2 aluminum connectors into each of the 5/16" hoses. Connect the 5/16" hose to the white connectors attached to the rubber inlet. Install the mass airflow sensor to the intake pipe and secure with the supplied socket bolts. Install the rubber inlet into the vehicle, positioning the air bypass valve toward the top of the engine. Loosely secure the inlet to the turbo inlet with a hose clamp. Install the PCV hose into the rubber inlet hose. Connect the 2 5/32" hoses onto the 2 nipples of the wastegate actuator exposed in step 13. Install the aluminum intake pipe into the rubber inlet hose. Align the intake pipe's bracket to the rubber mount. Then, secure the intake pipe to the rubber inlet hose with a hose clamp. Reconnect the bypass hose to the bypass valve and secure it using the OE hose clamp. Install the AEM air filter onto the end of the intake tube and secure it with a hose clamp. Reconnect the mass airflow sensor harness connector to the mass airflow sensor. Align the holes of the aluminum airbox lid with the threaded holes of the airbox. Install 5 button head screws and plastic washers to secure the lid to the airbox. Using the 1/4" hose and the hose clamps, secure the hose to the bypass valve nipple and vacuum tube exposed earlier. Install the carb exemption decal. It must be visible under the hood so that an emissions inspector can see it when the vehicle is required for emissions. California requires testing every 2 years. Other states may vary. Lastly, reconnect the vehicle's negative battery cable. Double check to make sure everything is tight and properly positioned before starting the vehicle. It will be necessary for all AEM intake systems to be checked periodically for realignment, clearance, and tightening of all connections. Failure to follow the installation instructions or proper maintenance may void warranty. AEM manufactures performance air intakes, dry flow air filters, and other performance products that are engineered to outperform. Visit aemintakes.com to learn more or to search for products by vehicle, dimension, cross-reference, or even VIN.